So we're now on chapter 6, probability. This is section 3 and how we use probability to assess risk. Keywords, things we're going to be talking about today are the relative risk and the absolute risk. So the risk of an event is a basic probability. It's the number of trials in which the event happens, but it tends to be a negative event over the total number of trials. For example, say that 2 people in 10 who smoke get lung cancer. I'm not sure of that statistic, but I'm just using it as an example. So 2 people in 10 who smoke get lung cancer. The probability, the risk is going to be 2/10. Okay, the risk of getting lung cancer if you smoke is 2/10 or 1/5. So it's a probability, but we call it the risk of it happening. So insurance companies calculate risk to decide how much to charge. If the risk is higher, then it becomes more expensive. So here we go, using past data, an insurance company assesses the risk of a house in a certain area being flooded. In the last 70 years, flooding has occurred 3 times. The risk that the house will become flooded in the next year is 3 out of 70. Now you can leave it as a fraction or you can type it into a calculator, get it as a decimal, and it becomes 0.043. Okay, 0.043. That would be 3 decimal places. Right, so we also need to know absolute risk and relative risk. These are ones that I'd be getting on a flashcard because students get confused between the different. So the absolute risk is the probability of the event happening. Okay, this is the absolute risk, the probability. Then we go on to relative risk, which is slightly different. It's how many times more likely an event will happen for one group compared to another. Right, so if a study investigates the number of road accidents that happen for 17-year-olds compared to 30-year-olds, a 17-year-old will have a car accident, 21.6% is the probability for that, and the probability that a 30-year-old will have a car accident is 8%. What is the relative risk of a 17-year-old having a car accident compared to a 30? How many more times likely is a 17-year-old going to have a car accident compared to a 30-year-old? So the relative risk is equal to the number, the percentage that you are, so 0.216, we can write that as, divided by 0.08. The formula is the risk for those in the group so that's the 17-year-olds in this case, and we divide it by the risk for those not in the group. So we're talking about those in the group of a 17-year-old divided by those in the risk for the not 17. So 0.216 divided by 0.08. Means you are 2.7 times more likely to have a car accident if you are 17 compared to if you are 30. So that's the relative risk. Okay, make sure you get that information down on flashcard, and that's what you need to know for that.